Hey, what is going on everybody, and welcome to Fantasia. For today, we're going to be jumping into another session of Epic 7L. Today, got some RTA for you guys, and as you can see, we have some more Backseat battling. So, today, we got Lucina Fanboy on the left going up against Kakarot, also known as Babu, on the right side. We have the global server against the Asia server. The guild Baka 7 up against Mochi, so this is going to be quite interesting to see. Okay, so we got Arwol coming out on the left side along with Specimen Says, and going up against a first pick flexing right here. It's Bobo Hours. We have ML Ken in the ring. Is he going to be able to withstand the power of Arwol and Spez? Maybe, because ML Ken's nowadays are built with a ton of effect resistance, which means that he can probably not get stunned and prevent himself from getting one-shot by Spez. Now, because effect resist ML Ken is a thing, that usually means that ML Ken is a little bit more susceptible because he has a little less bulk, right? All those stats have to go somewhere when you're rolling effect resistance. So the ML Ken could potentially still get one shot. Hey, who knows? Right? But we see Faithless Lytica coming out on the left side along with Summertime Iceria. Summertime Iceria usually built with a ton of effectiveness, 200, 250 effectiveness, so we could potentially see her stunning this ML Ken. Flitica also cannot be countered on her S2, so that is going to be interesting as well. But we got Laika, Rimuru, FCC, and Ed on Babu's side, and that is, whoa, I mean, it's quite a formidable team. Not gonna lie. The Ed gonna get banned out, of course, to Summertime Iceria, Spez, Arwell, and BJB all carrying a bunch of debuffs, so can't have that going through. We do see Laika though, and I'm actually quite happy to see that Laika there. DJB making it through draft can punish the FCC's barriers. Look at that damage, especially onto that Laika. Now that Rimuru, there, looking a little bit squishy. We're gonna see what happens here. DJB pushing up, and we're gonna see the Summertime Iceria taking the turn. Who is she gonna try to bomb here? Or is she just trying to go for some damage? And she can't crit, right? So she could potentially be the one that takes down ML Ken in the end. Oh, there we go! Got the bomb actually landed on here, but Rimuru going and snatching up that immunity means that ML Ken can't actually get stunned here, which is huge. Now, but the thing is, ML Ken though, if he doesn't counter here and heal some of this damage back, it's gonna be a little bit of an issue because, yeah, he's gonna be so low that this Specimen Says can take him out with an S3 regardless. Rimuru here probably gonna get stunned by the Arwell. That is, but resistance Rimuru? Is that what we see here? I don't think Rimuru's gonna be able to take down the Specimen Says, but it's worth a shot. Oh wait, no, going for the Summertime Iceria here. Okay, grabbing that shield and the speed buff for the team. Alright, now Specimen Says gets to go ripping that S3, going into the ML Ken. Can this kill? And it does! Inflicting that extinction onto that ML Ken. So unfortunate. And now Babu is on the back end, unfortunately. The Laika is going to be going for that S3 though. Oh, and Spez countering and finishing her off. Wow, that's a lot of damage from this Spez here. And unfortunately, I don't think that Babu is going to make it out on the other end unscathed. But we see FCC coming in with a ton of damage, finishing off that Summertime Iceria. And we see Spez going for yet another counter. You know, I kind of forget that Spez actually has counter built into his kit, because mine never does that. So there we go. Rimuru going to go ahead and chip away on the Arwell. And RL is going to go ahead, Soul Burn, dispelling buffs off the Rimuru, which is going to help the Spez deal quite a bit more damage. Now, the barrier didn't get dispelled, but that is alright. Counter Arwell coming in, dispelling some more buffs. This, oh my gosh, this Specimen Says, though, just going in. DJB gonna go try to attempt a stun, does not get it. Spez is gonna go for an S2. Oh, gets a stun on the FCC. Is this actually a resistance Rimuru? That is what I'd like to know. He's dealing quite a bit of damage. Maybe he's just getting really lucky in the end. Alright, Rimuru though going for another analyze. Hey, there is a chance! Rimuru! Oh no, but the Spez gets to take a turn here. And Rimuru does not is not able to cut, so the Spez able to... Oh wait, no! Spez actually just going for the FCC. Ah, I see. And then Rimuru goes down, because Rimuru actually took the escort buff, so he shares the damage with FCC. And LFB, Lucina Fanboy, taking this match. Alright, so now we have Azallea versus Minus here. Let's go ahead and see how this match plays out. Azallea representing the guild Germanium, and Minus from my own guild here, Club Anubis. Both players seem to be playing some RTA, Azallea in Masters, Minus in Challenger. We see the pre-bans coming in. I believe I forgot to mention them in the last match. But we have Lua, DJB, Solitaria, and Arwell. A lot of control units being taken out here. Oh, but I say that just as more control units start rolling in. We see Roman along with C. Lilius and a Jacko. Alright, that is pretty good for the left side. Ed coming in to counter that along with Zahak and Aiden working together. And we see Dilibet as well to help mitigate some of those debuffs that are coming in from the C. Lilius and the Roman. Roman is actually a very strong pocket pick. Used in previous seasons, kind of fallen off now in favor of better options. But yeah, he was definitely very powerful, and he still is. He still has quite a decent kit in terms of manipulating combat readiness. But we see Azallea shifting over to a Crow for potential damage mitigation here. Defense buffs and a potential nuke with a horse on his S3 could actually be pretty lethal against something like Aiden. However, having something like Zahak there is definitely not something to laugh at, because Zahak's injury can pile up quite quickly onto Crow. But we see Zahak getting banned out, see Lilius getting taken out as well. Heads actually could be kept in here, but hey, we have Teiyu that could potentially deal with him. So we'll see how that plays out. Oh, the Teiyu is fast, and Roman is actually pretty fast as well. Jacko giving him the buff in the back. And so now he'll be able to stun things. But again, into something like Ed, it's going to be quite dangerous. Okay, so Teiyu going to go ahead, rip that S3. Oh man, that damage on everybody. Pretty good, especially on the Aiden here. Alright, we see Roman going. Oh, landing a stun on the Aiden. No stuns on the Ed Minus. Oh, very unfortunate here. We're gonna see the Jacko coming in. I miss seeing her. She's such a cool unit. Finishing the Aiden off. And now going for the Dilibet. Gets the stun on the S1 with a follow-up attack. Finishing the Dilibet. Oh, what is this cleave? That is happening here. What are we witnessing? The crowd gonna push back that Ed. Jacko is in stealth. Rylet's gonna go in for that S3, gonna snipe down that Teiyu. Says, hey, whoa. That's enough of your shenanigans there. I'm gonna send you to the Shadow Realm. Now, Roman is gonna go ahead and take the turn. He's gonna pop his skill, and let's see what happens. It should just... Okay, that puts a lot of poisons on. Ed does cleanse, however... The good thing is that it didn't really do all that much damage. Jacko, I think, thankfully, was in stealth, so didn't take all that much from the AoE in retaliation. Oh, but there was the Uberius' tooth on Jacko, finishing off the Ed. What is this tech? Wow, that's absolutely insane. Now the question is, can Rylet solo this? Rylet's gonna go into the Crow. Crow is still pretty far back in that combat readiness. So if this Rylet can actually lap this Crow, maybe, just maybe, he might be able to survive here, but who knows. Alright, the Roman is gonna go ahead and attack. Doesn't look like Rylet's gonna be lapping this Crow. Crow to just unleash that S3 into the Rylet. And I think it's going to be over. Jacko going for an S3 there, dealing quite a bit of damage there. Uberius' tooth kicking in against these evasion units. Oh my god. And now this Crow is going to finish things off here. Soul burning because he can. And Crow ripping that horse S3 into that Rylet. There's no way that he's going to survive that. Whoa! Love to see these techs. That was very well played by azallea. On the left side, we now have Paizuri, and on the right side, we have Overlord D's, or Dez. Either way that you say it, I mean, go for it, right? So now we have both players representing the global server, and we have the Pirate Captain Flan Rep on the right side, Destina on the left. Let's go ahead and see how this plays out. Players are still doing their pre-bans right now. We're gonna see them coming in. Oh, okay. So we got Harada, one of the most broken units in the game right now, getting pre-banned along with Jekt. So, you know, gotta make sure we handle these 3 stars here. Starting off with the 3 stars, well, Penelope getting first picked. I like to see that. Now, Arwell and Aola were also banned out on the right side here, so we're not going to be seeing these light units. Okay, we're going to have Zaha coming in on the right side. Okay, I see how it is. Both units could potentially have resource reduction. Penelope always has it in her kit. Zaha could have it as an EE, but most people are switched over to the EE for his S2 that gives an attack buff. Now, Troublemaker Crozet getting snatched up on the right side as a tank. Arwell has been banned out, but this is a pretty safe option. Leica, though. Oh, Leica is very good for initiating fights and keeping up the tempo of the match. Briarwatch Iceria coming out on the left side as well. You love to see it, preventing some evasion units getting picked. We saw Violet getting hovered over right there. But we're going to see Pirate Captain Flan potentially coming out here. Yeah, it's a pretty decent pick. You can control a lot of units because there's no cleansing on the left side. Speaking of cleansing, we have ML Cowrick being snatched up on the right side here. And Cowrick is such a strong unit, right? Even into things like Leica, where Leica has the ability to sleep the whole team. ML Cowrick can cleanse that sleep off himself and cleanse the rest of his allies, enabling them to continue their turns. We got Politis, though, getting picked up on the left side. Could be a DPS Politis. We'll have to wait and see. If it is, it could potentially finish off the Zaha quite quickly. Archdemon Shadow getting snatched up on the left side. Kind of awkward into an MO Cowrick, who does immunity buff the whole team. But Archdemon does have the ability to strip with the Fairy Tale for a Nightmare artifact. Now, Zio is going to get snatched up on the right side as a last pick. A late pick Zio is going to be very scary to deal with, right? He could always take turn 1 and then silence and push back one of the lead openers on Paizuri's side. So we're going to see that Pirate Captain Flan getting banned out along with the Archdemon. Okay, 2 pretty solid bans here. And let's see how this plays out. Briarwitch Iceria is, I would say, she might be able to do mass amounts of damage into things like Zahak, and you'll be able to put unbuffable and strip things like the invincibility buff that Zahak puts on himself, right? So that's pretty good. We're going to see Zio take the first turn as he does with his kit, potentially going for the Leica pick here. Alright, so Zio popping that S3. Who is he going to target as... Oh yeah, there we go. Silencing and pushing back that Leica, so unfortunate. But we're going to see Zahak take the next turn. He could try to push up an ally here. No, he's just going to go straight for an S3 into that Penelope. Oh no, we're not going to see her be able to take any turns. And down she goes. ML Cowrick now gets to take the turn, but does he go for the S3? Oh, he does, even though Politis is on the other side. I mean, Zahak is invincible, and Zio doesn't take that much damage because of Deify. Troublemaker Crozet also protecting him as well. We see the ML Cowrick, though, pretty much getting away scot-free, right? His whole team not really getting that much damage from the Politis. Looks like it's a damaged Politis, though. We see all the damage coming in, raining down. She's also very low on her health. That's how you can typically tell. Degen Politis tend to have a ton more HP here. Alright, Troublemaker Crozet is going to go ahead and push up the Zio. We're going to see an additional turn from him here. Briarwitch Iceria. Oh, she's going to rip that S3. And like I said, this could be pretty good. Now we see the Zahak getting the unbuffable put on, almost getting taken out here. Unfortunately, Leica is silenced and just not able to finish off that Zahak. Zio does follow up. Oh, that dual attack from the Zahak probably made a pretty big difference there. I think Leica could have lived in that case. Okay, the Zio gonna go for the hit onto the Briarwitch Iceria. Still hasn't procced her immortality just yet. Zahak on his last legs over here. Okay, gonna be S1. Oh, procs the Briarwitch's immortality with a Calric S1. Now Zahak could potentially miss on the S1 into the Politis, giving her a chance here. Oh, okay, nope. Gonna go ahead and cleanse. And gonna soul burn into the Politis, still misses. Now Troublemaker Crozet gets to take a turn. Is he able to stun this Politis here? Oh, and the stun lands. That is so unfortunate. Briarwitch Iceria gets to take the turn now, and unfortunately it's probably gonna be the last turn that she takes. Gonna finish off that Zahak, but Zio now will be able to finish off the Briarwitch Iceria and deal quite a bit of damage into this Politis. We see the follow-up attack coming in. And there you have it. So Overlord Dez, or Dez, is going to take this match. Well played to both players. Okay, so here we go. King Neptune on the left side, going against Surths on the right side here. And both players coming from Global. King Neptune, one of my guildmates from Club Anubis, and Surths here from the Guild Oath, spelled with really neat looking symbols, so I do kind of like it. Okay, so now we see the pre-bans dropping in already. We got Rimuru and Dien banned out on the left side, Lua and Arwo banned on the right. Okay, ML Calric is going to get snatched on the left as a first pick. Pretty solid, I would say. Typically, people have been going more for mitigation or knights. If they are going more standard, ML Calric does have some weaknesses in that he is a decent support unit, but he can still get cleaved pretty easily, right? So if you're first picking and you get a knight, you're able to mitigate some damage from cleave, or if you're going into standard, you can pick your cleansers later to adapt to your opponent's draft, and you start with some damage mitigation. It's just a little bit easier to pivot back and forth between the two, right? The two styles your opponent could be going up against. But we see Araz and Politis getting picked out. Politis is in retaliation to the Sea Lilius that was picked. Flitica and Kisei also coming out on the right side. We see a very aggressive team, actually. So that is not too bad. The Politis could be a hindrance here, but we could also see the Sea Lilius just kind of take her out, right? If you get a lucky dual attack with something like Kisei on Sea Lilius' S1, we can see Politis just get wiped off the face of the map here. And we're going to see what that fourth pick is that's going to be coming in. Kisei is a very strong DPS. I think Kisei here would probably outspeed the 3 units that are currently on the left side. Ida getting snatched up as well. That is not too shabby, I would say. Not too bad. Ida does work quite well with Sea Lilius, and of course if Sea Lilius gets banned out and you don't have any non-attack skills to push up the Ida, then you can still use Flitica's S3 to push up the combat readiness of the entire team and help the follow-up with Ida and her damage. But we see Ursuline getting picked out. Okay, I mean, that's really banking on, it's really telegraphing that the Sea Lilius is not going to be banned here, right? You see 2 very strong anti-non-attack skill units being drafted into a single non-attack unit here. Oh, Fire Calric is coming out on the right side too. So mages actually get a speed buff in RTA, +7 speed to what you have on your build, and it is really nice for units like Calric, who already have very high base speeds and pack quite a punch. So we're gonna see who takes the first turn on the right side. Ida getting banned out, and Araz going away for the left side. Seems like the DPS in terms of Politis and Celine are just not really that threatening to Surths here, who is going to go for an S1. Oh, I should have gone for that Politis there. We can see the Kisei would have been brought along and can finish it off, but no. We're going to see Flitica go and Soul Burn into this MO Calric. Hey, that is pretty good here, forcing the reset. Okay, not too bad. Fire Cowrick is going to go. Gonna S2 that Politis. Not gonna finish her off here. Okay, quite a tanky Politis, I see. The Kisei is going to get that skill nullifier broken, and now she can go for an S3 herself, granting her stealth and potentially resetting. There's a lot of resets that can come out on this right side here, right? We got Flitica, Cowrick, and Kisei, but it looks like Politis is going to be taken down. Looks like she was a D-gen Politis with how she resisted everything coming out from this Kisei, and how tanky she was from Cowrick's S2. But we see Celine coming in hot and destroying that Flitica with an S3, granting herself some healing, evasion, and a barrier. Oh, but Kisei does so well against buff units, dealing so much damage even on a miss. Cowrick's going to go ahead and poke as well. ML Cowrick going to S1, push up the Ed here. I don't think Ed is in a very great position because Kisei got a soul burn just as I said that. It's just slicing through Ed like a stick of butter. Okay, and then Fire Cowrick's gonna go ahead and rip that S3. Unfortunately, it connects, even though the Celine had the evasion buff, and now ML Cowrick is the last to stand here. It looks like the Moonlight version was not as strong as the RGB counterpart. Well played to both King Neptune and Circe, though. That was quite an aggressive match coming out from the right side. On the left side, we have Asperia facing off against Babu. On the right side, we see the Sylvan Sage Vivian avatar going up against the LQC, both some light heroes and quite good units at that. The pre-bans are coming in quite quick this time around. We see Aola getting banned out along with Rimuru, Bellion and Rong getting banned on the right side. So we're just seeing that not really a huge fan of Cleave in the form of Ron, and we see that Aola and Rimuru are both just typically very oppressive units on their own getting banned out on the left. ML Cowrick and Arwell getting picked to counter this first pick Dizzy coming out from Babu. Alright, you love to see it. A-Raz getting picked out as the second unit here. Hey, his dual attack with Dizzy could prove to be pretty good if she is the highest attack unit. Oh, but what do we see here? A Spectre Tenebra getting hovered over, but no, Sylvan Sage Vivian getting snatched up, picking his opponent's profile picture. Babu with the little flex action coming in. The Great Mortelix, though, coming out on the left side. Can't be stunned and can't be slept. So, Dizzy, if she's on something like Abyssal Crown or Dizzy's S1 here, not going to be very effective. He also has built-in counter, so Dizzy could be triggering quite a bit if Mort is getting lucky today. Now, we see Pirate Captain Flan coming out, speaking of stuns, right? Yeah, coming out on the left side. Is this going to force Babu to pick a cleanser of some sort? We see him hovering over the Dilibet, thinking differently now, going back to that Dilibet. She would be a pretty good choice given that ML Cowrick has already been taken, and the other reliable options here would be something like DJB or Leica, though. People don't know the fact, well, many people don't know the fact that Leica actually gives immunity on her skills to the whole team. But we're gonna see Edward getting last picked here. Alright, that's going to be quite interesting to see. Giving immunity to Ed is typically not the best idea, because it lets your opponent use skills that have debuffs on them safely without having any retaliation. And we see the Fire Ravi, though, getting hovered on over here. She wouldn't be too bad of a pick, I would say. But nope, Arya seems to be what Asperia lands on. ML Cowrick getting banned out along with the Ed. And now that's going to be quite tricky for the left side, right? No cleanser, no real support unit. Arwell's just some damage mitigation here. Leica's going to be able to control now. Leica popping that S3, going to go for the sleeps. Are we going to see any land? Oh, on the Pirate Captain Flan. Mort is immune to it, and Arya typically has very high resistance. I believe I saw the Bastion of Hope there, so Asperia not going to get debuffed on the Arya. Oh, yeah, so we're gonna see the blind debuffs coming in, though. The Great Mortelix, even though he cannot be stunned or slapped, is still vulnerable to blind debuffs. Pirate Captain Flan getting taken down very low. She actually has a defense break from that A-Raw. Sylvan Sage Vivian was the one that dual attack there with him. The stun is going to come in, though, and the barrier is going to help protect the Pirate Captain Flan. The Great Mortelix is going to take off his shirt, and he's going to go ahead and step on his opponents. Let's see how much damage comes out. Oh, that is actually pretty good. Now, Arya going to protect the rest of her team. Going to put up that S3 counter buff coming out. We got stealth and big barriers. Stealth and barriers actually work quite well hand in hand. So now Leica has no choice really but to go for this Arya. She's on Bastion of Hope, so she's not going to get debuffed here. Counterattack is going to be coming out. The Great Mortelix as well, saying, hey, I got Elbrus on me, so let's do it. And now the Sylvan Sage Vivian is blind. Gets both of her buffs stripped by the Arwell. Ooh, that is quite some bad luck on Babu's side. But we're going to see the S2 come out for Dizzy, trying to push back the opponents, extending the duration of some debuffs. And we're going to see the Arya going for the follow-up attack here after her counter. That's a lot of damage that's coming out. It's adding up quite a bit because Babu's side does not have any healing. No way to sustain here. And we're going to see the A-Raws popping that S3. Okay, not able to break any of the thick barriers that Arwell had planted earlier. And we're going to continue to see the counters from Arya and from the Great Mortelix. Now, Sylvan Sage Vivian is going to pop that S3 here. She's typically on lifesteal. We're going to see her recover some health. And she broke the Arwell out of stealth. So that is going to be very nice for Babu. Being able to have another unit to focus that's not Arya is going to be very powerful. But we see the Great Mortelix going to go ahead and Soul Burn Defense Break into that Sylvan Sage Vivian here, and no cleanse on the right side. Now Pirate Captain Flan gets to go. Is she going to be able to land a bomb? She is going to push up the team here. Artifacts can land even on miss, and then Pirate Captain Flan can detonate bombs even on miss. So yeah, she is very, very strong as a unit. Sylvan Sage Vivian, though, going to go ahead and take the turn, and Soul Burn the S1 is going to proc a counterattack from both the Great Mortelix and from the Arya here. She is defense broken, but she is holding on for dear life. That Dizzy is still debuffed. Oh, the Sylvan Sage Vivian had no more focus left, so she was taken out by Mort. And we're going to see this Arya chipping away at the Dizzy with the follow-up attack here. Is this enough to take down that Dizzy? We'll have to see. And it is, unfortunately. So it's now just A-Raz left, and there's nothing that Babu can do. So, well played to Asperia, picking some fairly good resistant units, right? Either built into the kit like Mortelix, or just in the form of high stats like the Arya. Okay, so we have one more match here for you guys in this video. We have Lucina Fanboy going up against Minus, and Lucina Fanboy is known for his cleaving and aggressive playstyle. Minus actually known for having absolutely no speed gear whatsoever, playing turn 2 and just tanking up. We have Butcher Corpse and Aether getting banned out on the left side. DJB and Arwell, though, getting banned out on the right. First pick Aiden coming out from Minus' signature pick this season. We're gonna see the Bunny Dumb, though. Hey, that's a pretty unique first pick here coming from Lucina Fanboy. Let's go ahead and see what that follow-up is gonna be. DN getting picked out. All right. Minus now having 2 more picks to go to follow up against these 2 non-attack skill units, but it is still a little interesting, right? You can't really pick things like Celine. You might be able to pick Politis and get away with it, but Celine is a little tricky because Lucina Fanboy could also always pivot into something, as we see here, like Briar Witch Iceria, which wouldn't have cared if Celine attacked into her. But yeah, Briar Witch Iceria going to be a very strong unit in terms of hitting that Aiden because the extra hit chance. We see ML Elena getting picked out here as well to get that non-counter attack buff, unable to be countered debuff onto that Senya, counteracting her, well, counter buff, no pun intended, and as well as stopping Aiden from countering with her passive skill too. Edward, though, does not really care because his skills does not count as a counterattack. They're an extra attack that follow up, kind of like Seaside Bellona and how she functions. So that is pretty good. And we see Lua getting snatched up at the end there. Last pick Lua is actually quite frightening, especially with how fast they can be. Summertime Assyria getting picked out here. And she is actually going to be seeing the ban hammer immediately afterwards. So she's getting banned out along with the Ed. And that means that we might see ML Elena getting some use. Let's see how Lucina Fanboy utilizes her in this match. Alright, so we're going to see the Lua actually take the first turn above the bunny. It's actually quite rare to see Minus with such a fast unit, but hey, let's go for it. Lua's gonna pop that S3 here, and unfortunately Bunny Dom gets to resist, but I think the other units might have gotten reset, so let us take a look at the skills here. No, Diane seems to have resisted as well. ML Elena and Briarwitch Assyria, though, were the ones that ended up getting reset. So Bunny Dom pushes up the DN. DN could go for an S2 since everyone already has an attack buff. Nope, gonna opt to pop that S3, get that anti-crit buff up, you know, so that Senya can't crit your team. That's always that's always a thing that can happen, right? Okay, ML Elena gonna go ahead and attack the Aiden. Oh, wait a minute, was that a mistake? Because that was a ton of damage that just came out. But hey, Briarwitch Assyria are going to follow up with the S1 into the Aiden. Still missed despite her additional hit chance, which is quite sad. I really hope that Briarwitch gets buffed so that she can be a pretty good counter into evasion units. Bunny Dom going to be taken out by the Aiden, giving everybody invincibility. A-Rod's going to pop that S3, going for the defensive buff and healing himself as well. Senya, though, gonna pop her S3s, just a string of S3s now that we see coming out from the right side. An onslaught of damage coming in. The blind on the Briarwitch Assyria, that is going to hurt quite a bit. And so we see the concession coming out from Lucina Fanboy as Minus Dark takes this one away. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe for more Epic 7 content, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what I can do to improve. And until next time, take care.